Yes, people, what's happening? Hope you're all well. Welcome back to Football's 12th Man podcast. As ever, I'm your host, Dan Potts, on my own today, just to do a bit of a short stream for you, really. Want to talk a little bit about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I honestly do not know where to start. There's so much going on with this guy at the moment. There's so much chat. And it's as if we've rolled back a few months, isn't it? And we're discussing whether it was the right decision by Mikel Arteta, whether it was the wrong decision by Mikel Arteta, and whether he is going to be staying at Barcelona or whether he's going to be going to Chelsea. So there's lots to discuss. Let's start on the all or nothing. I'm not going to lie. Excuse me. The first 1 to 3 episodes, I was a little bit disappointed. It was what I expected. It was all for show. It was all for the cameras. I didn't really see much tactics from Mikel Arteta. It was a lot of chatting, a lot of weird, baffling drawings, really embarrassing moments like the rubbing your hands together with your eyes closed and the graphs about him when he was young and how much he loves all the players. Then the speakers come out against Anfield only for us to get thumped 4-0. And I was thinking, right, I can understand why he's getting pelters. I think it's a little bit harsh from some of the media outlets saying that he was just a school teacher and he was no good and blah, blah, blah. And as someone who's questioned him, I did feel a little sorry for the amount of comments we were getting, but he didn't really do himself any favours in some of those weird, quirky ideas. But I do look at it and I feel like 3 to 6 episodes were a lot more enjoyable. I saw quite a lot from Mikel Arteta that I liked in terms of what he was saying. I liked some of his motivation. I liked the fact that he was kind of all about the club and that he wanted only the right thing for the club, etc. But there were some queries for me, particularly around some of his city drawings. I don't understand the city drawings. Don't come across well for me. The players look there baffled. And there seems to me to be this element of I'm scared. All the players sit there in fear. It's like they're not allowed to talk. And that's why I believe that he's been kind of likened, I suppose, to a head teacher or a headmaster, because it does come across like that in a few episodes that I've seen. He's kind of pointing at the players and they're all too scared to kind of say anything to him. It's really quiet. They're really... What do you think, Lacazette? Oh, I'd probably go with that option. Oh, yeah. And you think, hey, what's he saying? Like, speak up. All of the younger lads just completely scared. It's bizarre behavior, really. It's like they're all mute. I don't know if they're scared of the cameras, scared of the situation. It seems very odd to me. So that is a bit odd. But what I will say is, I think the coaching staff have come across pretty okay. Myself and Lee Judges always questioned what help Mikel Arteta was getting from the sidelines. And I think Steve Round's come across pretty well, if I'm honest with you. Also, Carlos Kester, he's come across pretty well. I quite like what I'm seeing from AirPod Albert, I can't lie. And I feel like there's a bit of a kind of uniformed approach across the coaching staff and Mikel Arteta. So that's the positives for me that has come out of it. I don't understand what Vinay Venkatesham does. He just keeps popping up every now and then. Not quite sure why. Not understanding much of what's going on, so it seems. However, Richard Garlick come across, I thought, pretty well, considering, he wanted to get involved with the whole Aubameyang situation, which we'll come on to next. I felt he come across well. Edu. Something about Edu I just can't take to. Transfer deadline's hard. My phone rings at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. Wow. Let's not get the violins out just yet. But my God, mate, you do get paid a wage and it is your job on transfer deadline day to kind of answer the phone. It's a madness, really, some of the stuff that he was coming out with. The players, however, I'm a bit shocked at a couple. Ramsdale comes across really well. Saka comes across really well. Kieran Tierney comes across really well. Rob Holding, I think, comes across really well. But I'm a little surprised at some. Not a peep yet from our captain, Martin Ødegaard. Apparently a leader, a good decision for captaincy. Not heard him yet. Quiet as a mouse. I don't think that I've heard enough from Ben White yet to be impressed. He's very quiet. Um, and there's nothing wrong with people being quiet. Let me get that straight. But when people are bigging up his leadership qualities and how much of a great effect he has on the dressing room, I haven't seen that yet from those two. I just haven't at all. Nuno Tavares, that was a very worrying thing for me. I didn't see much from him, and when they were talking about what's going on with your form and your confidence, he just wasn't really interested for me. But one thing's for sure, Aubameyang was not a leader. I didn't see any leadership attributes from him. I never thought he was a leader, certainly not a captain, in my opinion. And then we were looking forward to what actually went down. And it transpires that we know nothing more than we already did. This documentary has not opened up our eyes to anything we didn't know. Aubameyang was late for training and was kicked out the club and stripped of the captaincy. That was what I knew 6 weeks ago. And now this documentary's come out. That is what I know today. There's nothing in this documentary that tells me anything more than that. And it's fair. Arteta's kept it close to his chest. He said that he's got this file of all these problems that he's had with Aubameyang, etc. But we don't know, one, if that's true, or two, what's actually in those files. So for whatever reason, he's fallen out with the manager and he had to go. So nothing really surprises me there. There's nothing I can look at, tell you guys and go, wow, I didn't know Aubameyang was this bad. And there was also nothing to suggest, oh my God, Arteta was so out of order to Aubameyang. We're still like this. We don't know, do we? We just heard from what Arteta says, he isn't what he wants in the dressing room and he needed to go. Fair play. Fair play. Like if that's what you want, then you've got to go for it. So I look at that and think the only disappointment for me was that the whole transfer window was looked and spent on outgoings, not incomings. So it looked to me, there was no talk of Vlahovic, there was no talk of Arthur, there was no talk of any other incoming. It was all about let's get rid of Maori, let's get rid of Chambers, let's get rid of Niles, and let's do all we can to get rid of Aubameyang. And they just spent the whole window trying to get players out. And I really think that cost us top four in the end because there was no replacement for our midfield, no replacement for our centre forwards. And although Elneny and Nketiah people were bigging up, that wasn't enough to get us top four. I think, well, it's facts, to be fair. The stats don't lie. But I think we could have done more in those areas. So that's really frustrating. That's my thoughts of the documentary so far, sorry. I do think there's more to come, and I'm not looking forward to these last couple because I'll tell you this now, I don't think I can relive the shambles that it was us bottling it the last few games of last season, but it's yet to come. Let's see what you're saying in the chat. Big up yourselves. Thank you so much for watching. Tomsy, big up yourself, mate. Sports Genius, what's up, Dan? I'm all good. Afama says, big up, Dan. Big up yourself. Lee Farrell, mate. We go back years. Yes, we do. Big up my bro, Dan Potts. Been a few years, mate, since the same old Arsenal days. Hope you're well, Lee. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Ramos said, big up, Dan. Big up yourself. Big up, Dan. Loving the content, says Bun. That Zoot. Mark, hope you're well, brother. Good to see you in the chat. Evening, Dan. Arteta's silly drawings out. I can't lie, mate. It's mad, to be fair. Let's have some fun, shall we? AA is coming in the chat trying to give me some stick. Hi, my name is Dan, and I will try to find the negative about the documentary because I'm a big smarty pants. Bro, you couldn't run a canteen. It's amazing, isn't it, that people come in and watch your stuff and support your content, even though they're just not a fan of you. It really is crazy. But I hope you have a good day and enjoying the heat, AA. You take care, bro. Craig, but Dan, big up, especially doing a stream in this hot weather, mate. It's unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievably hot. It's as if we're in Spain, mate, and I live in Essex. So trust me, I'm not used to this heat. There we go. Marcus said, I think Erdegaard's leadership qualities will develop this season as the senior players like Aubameyang and Lacazette have moved on. Do you know what? You might be right. And I certainly see leadership qualities in a different way on the pitch with Martin Odegaard. He leads by example. He G's the players up in a different way. He doesn't look at barking orders. So I kind of see where you are with that, Mark. AA is at it again. He says, Dan, did Arteta sleep with your girl? No, that is not the case. I don't understand what it is that you have against the opinions of mine, but fair play to you, mate. You have that right. Niall says not really interested. Just go and win the games on the pitch, mate. Do you know what? That is an absolutely spot on comment, and that's one that I said today to a friend. They said, "Have you watched this All or Nothing yet?" I said, "Yeah." What has this changed in your opinions? I said, "Yeah, about some of the players, about some of the management style, about some of the coaching staff, some of the players themselves. But ultimately, it doesn't change anything until the results on the pitch change." And that is a spot on comment, man. I um, can't actually disagree with anything you've said at all. I won't read that one out. um, Sajal has said, Dan, keep underestimating Chelsea. We always win big things when we are down. I've not underestimated Chelsea one bit, mate. I said that everybody's dancing on the grave too early for me. I look at the players that they're linked with, and for me, I think they'll have a very, very good season and will be comfortably in the Champions League spots yet again. What's Mark said here? Dan, did you sleep with AA's mum to make him so mad with you? I don't know, man. It's one of those things. People either love what I say or they hate what I say, and I do not care. It's opinions. I hate what some people say also, and that's just the way that it is. Aubameyang, then. Let's talk a little bit about the rumours of him going to Chelsea, back to the Premier League, back to Stamford Bridge, back to London, should I say. Where do we see with this one? Let me know in the chat. Is this going to happen? Does it get to a stage where Aubameyang is back in the Premier League, coming up against William Saliba and Gabriel? Does it come to a stage where Aubameyang comes back to the Premier League and absolutely smashes it like he did in the first few seasons at Arsenal? Or is it just time for him to stay away from the Premier League now and accept that he's on to better things? What's your thoughts in the chat? Let me know. My personal thought is I think he would probably jump at the chance to come back to London. I think he would definitely want to be playing at this age of his career. I don't think they can guarantee him that at Barcelona, although he can play wide. They have got about 6 or 7 front men now, Barcelona, which is just absolutely crazy, isn't it? Let's be honest. I don't know what sort of price that he'd cost to Chelsea, but I know that money is not a problem for them. They're linked with Fofana, they're linked with Frankie de Jong, they're linked with the Inter Milan centre midfielder, they're linked with Memphis Depay, and now, of course, Aubameyang. And I think that if those sort of deals come off, Chelsea, I think, will comfortably have a good season under Thomas Tuchel and will definitely have a better squad than last season. When I look at it, I honestly believe that this would be a really good signing for Chelsea, because I do believe that although he hasn't got a hold-up play, I do believe the style of play that Thomas Tuchel has will suit Aubameyang due to the fact that he's already played with him. He already knows what he's about. And I think Thomas Tuchel will get the best out of Aubameyang, and he probably needs a move like that, to be fair. So let's see what happens. I hope he doesn't go, because I'd rather him stay out the league. But I also, at the same time, like Aubameyang and want him to have a good career. So whatever suits him best, I suppose, is the way to look at it. No real other amazing transfer rumours, to be fair. It's all gone a little bit quiet on the transfer rumour mill, if I'm honest. I can't see anything happening with Arsenal. It doesn't look like there's any incomings. There's certainly some outgoings. Torreira's gone, but Leno looks to go. Bellerin, I imagine, will leave soon. Torreira, Maitland-Niles, Pablo Marie. It does seem like there's not many incomings, but the rumour mill will start up again. We've got 2-3 weeks left now, and I do believe that Arsenal will get in another couple. I just don't know where they're going to be playing. I still feel we need another couple of centre midfielders and a forward, but let's see what Edu and Arteta can do working their magic. Let's see what happens. One rumour that has hit today is Rashford to Paris Saint-Germain. I don't see this one happening. I'm not a fan of Marcus Rashford. I can't lie. A lot of people say I was harsh because I said I think last season, that he's basically Danny Welbeck who feeds kids, and everyone said that was harsh. He's much better than that. I just don't see it. I don't see it with Marcus Rashford. I don't think he's going to hit the hypes that everybody believes. I think we've got ourselves a good player, but nothing special. I don't see at the end of his career we'll look back at him as a Kylian Mbappe or a Thierry Henry, like people have suggested when he first hit the scene. I think we'll look back on his career and see a Theo Walcott or a Gabriel Bonglahor or somebody like that. So I don't think he's at that level. I just think he's a good player, not a great player. I don't think PSG is that serious about it, and apparently Ten Hag doesn't want to sell him, so I can't see that one happening. Afsar, big up yourself. He says, evening, Dan. Hope you're well. Here we go. A centre midfielder, a wide forward would be awesome, Dan. Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely. This is an interesting one from Neil, who says, is anybody in for Pepe? It's like nobody wants him. I think you're right. I don't think anybody does want him. And I think he's been ruined at Arsenal, if I'm honest. When he came on the scene, it was that huge money that everyone talked about. And he was never really a £72 million winger. He was about £25-30 million winger for me. And although he did well in France, it never really replicated over in England due to him not really settling, having 3 different managers in a season. And the latter being Mikel Arteta not really rating him and wanting him. So I think we could look at it and say that he's probably had a bit of a flop. But I think there's a player in there. I think he scored 16 goals in the season before last when he was playing, and that was only mostly cup competitions, Europa Leagues, and a few in the league. And everyone says, oh, it was only in the Europa League. Well, no one else was scoring in the Europa League, only him. No one else was scoring in the cups, only him. So I think he's a player. I think he's definitely better on the left or through the middle, but I think someone else will probably take up that role for him. Going to be interesting, to be fair. To see where we go with Pepe and who is actually interested. I heard Seville were interested in a loan. Not many people wanting to pay. I think if we look to get a loan with an obligation of 25 million to buy, I think they'll take it, Arsenal. I think they will. They'll accept they've paid over the odds for him and they'll try and find him a new club. That means we'll probably need another replacement unless we believe Marquinhos is any good. He scored again today in the under-21, so I'm being told. So that's 2-2 for him in that competition. Maybe he is ready to be moulded into the squad. I just don't see enough of him yet to see whether he's good enough. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Marquinhos and Pepe. As far as the other clubs are concerned, not really any massive news, if I'm honest with you. Everton are trying to do their best to try and keep themselves in the division. I really think this is going to be a tough ride for them. Obviously, with Connor Cody and James Tarkowski now, they're buying a couple of Premier League proven experienced defenders that can try and do the business for them, which, let's be honest, is probably the area that Everton have been weakest in a long time. But I just don't see many goals. I really don't see many goals from Everton, especially with Dominic Calvert-Lewin out for another 6 weeks now and Richarlison leaving. Dwight McNeil, I think he scored 7 goals in 4 seasons. That's not good enough for me. I think when him and Calvert-Lewin are playing together, you might see some delivery and some headers, but that's yet to be seen. The weekend games. Let's go through the fixtures and let me show you what I think prediction-wise is going to happen. We'll do it in order of when games are played, right the way through from tomorrow afternoon forward through into the Monday night fixture. One more rumour, actually, which Mark has kindly reminded me about. Forest is spending like they have Newcastle's money, another 20 million today on Emmanuel Dennis from Watford. Forest are my tip for the surprise package of the season, just for the pure fact that they have a never say die attitude as a squad, as a fan base, and manager and board together. The money they're spending is crazy. And I'm really interested to see what they can do, because I look at it now and I think they've signed Jesse Lingard. They've got themselves in some real young, hungry players. Nico Williams as well from Liverpool. Now they're looking at Emmanuel Dennis, who's a proven Premier League goal-scoring striker. I think it could be interesting, to be fair. I really do. So that's a great one. Davinson, the defender, big up Dan Potts. Big up yourself, man. Thank you for coming on and supporting and watching the content, mate. Much appreciated. Let's start with the weekend's predictions then. Aston Villa versus Everton. Gerrard versus Lampard. For me, the fight as to who's going to get the sack first. I really think they're both under pressure. The jury's out for me on both managers. I'm not certain on either of them. And I look at it and I think Aston Villa have to win this game because Everton are down and out. Everton are on a rocky road. They've not really got any of them players in that Everton side that I look at and go, wow. But Aston Villa have got some quality up top. Ollie Watkins, Danny Ings. They bought some players as well, like the likes of Coutinho now on a permanent, and they've got Carlos at the back and Boubacar Kamara in the middle. So I look at it now and think it has to be 3 points. I've gone for Aston Villa 2, Everton 1, because I do believe that they have to win this. There's no excuses for Steven Gerrard here. So I've gone for 2-1 to Aston Villa. Let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. Mark's agreed with me and gone for a 2-1. And Pegmatite has gone for 1-1. Gerrard is a fraud. Well, the jury's still out. That's for sure. The next game, of course, at 3 o'clock is our game, which is Arsenal versus Leicester. I've gone for Arsenal 2, Leicester 1. I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. I do think Leicester have got players to cause us problems. We all know who they are. Maddison, Tielemans, Vardy. But I will say this. I believe having Harvey Barnes unfit is massive for us. Because if you look at Arsenal's current weaknesses, it is at fullback. And Harvey Barnes could have given our fullbacks a torrid time on either side, to be fair. Because as much as I like Zinchenko, he can get caught out. And Ben White, we saw, can do well, but also can get caught out like he did against Zaha. I've gone for 2-1 Arsenal. I don't think it's going to be like a 3-4 or 5-0, but I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that we can comfortably win. Harvey's gone for 4-1 to the Arsenal. Mark has gone for 4-0 to the Arsenal. Very, very optimistic. We've got OT 7776 has said 2-1 to Leicester. Fair play to you, brother. Peg Matata said 3-1 Arsenal. Mostly Arsenal wins there for predictions. I've gone for a 2-1, and I hope that I'm right because I just want a 3 points. I want the next 5 games wins. That's what I need to see from Arsenal. So for me, I take the 3 points. Let's move on to Brighton. Brighton had a fantastic victory against Manchester United at the weekend. Man United looked absolutely shocking. But what I will say is that Brighton looked really, really good. Never say die attitude. I love the intensity, love the play, love the work rate. I think Danny Welbeck and Pascal Gross can hold their head up high. And I do believe that Brighton will have an okay season again. I know they've lost Kukurea. I know they've lost Bissouma. But I think their recruitment has been world class at times this last few years. And Graham Potter is such a good manager. But Newcastle, Brighton at home, but Newcastle. Newcastle are a very, very good side. And Newcastle have got some very good players. Eddie Howe's done a great job there. And I do believe, personally, that he will go on to do great things at Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle will be up winning titles with Eddie Howe, but I do think that one day that will happen. Whether he's the manager or not is yet to be seen. But I will say this. I've gone for 1-1. Brighton 1, Newcastle 1, because I do feel like Brighton are so tough to beat at their place. And although Newcastle are doing well in the midfield with Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes, I don't look at Newcastle and think, wow, you've got 4 or 5 goals in you. And I think Brighton have always had a bit of steel at the back. So I think it's going to be 1-1. But Newcastle could nick the win there. I think they're favourites. So it's going to be interesting. Mark agrees and thinks Newcastle will hit 2-1. I'm going to stick with 1-1 Brighton versus Newcastle. Then we come on to Manchester City. Manchester City versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth, an unbelievable victory at the weekend against Villa. But Manchester City just looked too strong for me. And at home, I think this could be the biggest score of the weekend. I've gone for Manchester City 4, Bournemouth 0. I think Bournemouth are going to hold their hands up and accept that this is just not for them. They're not really interested in trying to compete with the likes of Manchester City. But of course, that doesn't mean they're going to roll over and die. I just think the quality will shine through and Haaland will be on fire. And he's certainly my captain at the weekend in my fantasy football team. That's for sure. We've got a couple of 3-0 Cities in the chat also that are agreeing that it'll be quite a comfortable win, and a 2-0 Manchester City as well. I don't see any upset there, if I'm honest with you, but who knows in football. Then we move on to Southampton versus Leeds. Now, this one could be really interesting because Southampton, for me, I do not see goals. I haven't tipped them to go down this season, but I do not see goals. I don't think Adam Armstrong's the answer to go and get them 10 goals a season. I certainly don't think that they've got any quality up top now that they've not replaced Broja to get 10 to 15 goals a season, and that would keep them up safely. So maybe they need to go into the market and try and get somebody over the line. I've gone for Southampton 1, Leeds 2. That's what I've gone for. I think Leeds, although I've tipped them to be in and around the relegation zone as well as Southampton, I do feel that Leeds have just got a little bit more quality. I know they've lost Rafinha. I know they've lost Calvin Phillips, but I do still fancy them to take the 3 points. So I've gone for a 2-1 Leeds victory. I do think, however, Leeds have got a couple of players in the door, like the Tyler Adams, and Jesse March is trying to look in that market, I think, as some youngsters that are coming through. And I think it could be too little too late for them this season, but we'll see. It's been between Leeds and Everton for me. I've been like that throughout the season. And I've gone for Everton just because I think they're in serious trouble and I don't rate Frank Lampard. But Leeds, I think, will struggle this season. I really do. But I've gone for a Leeds win just because Southampton aren't scoring and they look woeful, if I'm honest, against Spurs. So I've gone 2-1 Leeds. Wolves at home to Fulham. Wolves at home to Fulham. This will be interesting. Fulham really impressed me against Liverpool. And Mitrovic answered critics. Can you do it in the Premier League? Well, straight away, he's got a couple of goals and long may it continue because he's a player I've always rated, a player I've always liked, and actually quite liked Fulham. But I don't think he's going to get the 3 points. Wolves are a difficult outfit at home, completely different away, but they're a really strong outfit at home. So I've gone for 2-1 Wolves, a home win. I do think Wolves will do it. They have to pick themselves up. They had a terrible run to the end of the season and not the best start. But I do look at Wolves now and think, yeah, you are stronger than Fulham. You should be able to pick 3 points up. So we'll go with that one. This is interesting. Brentford versus Manchester United. Man United are woeful people. Let's get it right. They look terrible. They've got no togetherness. Ten Hag looks lost already. None of the players seem to want to play for the shirt, in my opinion. And I look at so many gaps in their first 11, not even their squad, and think it needs to be sorted. I really do. It's going to be interesting for me, this one, but Brentford is a very tough place to go. I know they don't have Christian Eriksen anymore, and how ironic would it be that he's now playing for Manchester United? But I've gone 1-1. I've gone 1-1 because I feel like Brentford will beat them up a bit and bully them a bit. And I just don't see Manchester United at the moment in the right momentum to do much about it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Harvey agrees he's gone for 2-2. Pegmatite has gone for 1-1. And Mark's gone for 2-1 Brentford. Fair play to you, Mark. I hope that you're right, because it is always funny to laugh at Manchester United. The next game on my list is Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. Now, although I've said Nottingham Forest will be the surprise package, doesn't mean they're going to start going on a run of beating everybody. Lost to Newcastle, and they've got West Ham, and I expect them to lose to West Ham. I expect West Ham to win 2-1. It looks like Scamacca is going to start. And Maxwell Cornet. And I think both of those signings for West Ham are very good. I think Scamacca will come on and cause a nuisance. I think he'll score some goals. He's definitely the right target man for West Ham. And it must be refreshing for West Ham fans to have a centre forward finally in what feels like decades. Antonio was always a winger they were using there. Now they've got that Scamacca target man along with Antonio and Bowen either side. They've still got Maxwell Cornet. They've still got Ben Rama. Still got Fornals. They've got a little bit of strength in depth now, West Ham. So for me, I think they'll have enough to beat Nottingham Forest. I've gone for a 2-1 win. Likewise, Andrew agrees. He says 2-1 West Ham. Davison Defender has gone for 3-2 Nottingham Forest. What an absolute cracker. Do you know what? I hope you're right, because it's always funny to see West Ham lose. And Nottingham Forest, I actually do like. Pegmatite agrees with me. He says Cooper is a madman, Dan. Yes, he is. Absolutely, he is. I absolutely love everything about this manager, and that's why I've tipped Forest to do well this season. Last two games, the big one on Sunday, Chelsea versus Spurs. I think this will be a cracker. I really do. I think it will be a great fight. I think it will be a good battle. I think there's going to be some talent on show. Tuchel wants to win. Conte wants to win. And I do think Conte will get the better of Thomas Tuchel. I have to say it. I hate saying it as an Arsenal fan, but I just feel that there's too much quality in this Spurs side over Chelsea's right now. I think in the coming weeks, you might see it change with Chelsea's first 11, but certainly it doesn't look strong enough, in my opinion, at the moment. And Tottenham's really does. I thought every time they went forward at the weekend, they were going to score against Southampton. And I don't look at it as any different at the moment with what Spurs are doing under Conte. I think Kane, Son, Kulusevski, who looked unbelievable against Southampton. Still got Richarlison they've got to use. Still got Perisic, Basuma, Spence. It's mad, absolutely mad what Conte has the potential to do with this side. I don't think they're going to get anywhere near the Premier League title. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League. But it wouldn't surprise me if they won a trophy this season under Conte, because I think that is what all fans want if you're a Tottenham supporter. And Conte wins you things. I've gone for Chelsea 1, Spurs 2. I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be close, but I have gone for Spurs to do it. Pegmatata says that Kulusevski will run havoc. Yeah, I totally agree. Davidson is saying that come on, you Spurs. Andrew believes it will be a 2-2 draw. Mark believes it will be a 2-2 draw. Pegmatata has gone for 3-1 Spurs, and Harvey has gone for 2-1 Tottenham. It's amazing, isn't it, how a season can completely change your mind. This time last year under Nuno Espirito Santos, I'd never have had Spurs beating Chelsea. That's what a manager can do, a proper manager at that as well. That moves us on to Monday night's game. Monday night's game is Liverpool versus Palace. And although Palace weren't shocking against Arsenal, they could have won They could have got a couple of goals on another night with Edouard's header, which I think he should have done better with. Ramsdale made a good save. And obviously Eze making, fluffing his lines really, going through. That could be a different story. But I think Liverpool will be too strong. Liverpool will not lose 2 on the bounce. Liverpool will not drop another load of points, in my opinion, because they have to win. They have to win now. If they want to actually look at any form of momentum about being serious, those first 2 losses, very difficult to pull yourself out of that when you start going down that streak. And We saw it last season, didn't we? We lost 1, then we lost 2, then we lost 3, and we started to do that in blips. We don't want Liverpool to go down that road if they want to be serious title contenders, which I have no doubt that they're going to be. I've gone for Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 0. A lot of people agreeing that Liverpool are going to take the 3 points. Andrew believes 3-0 Arsenal. Harvey believes, 3-0 Arsenal, 3-0 Liverpool. Harvey believes 4-0 Liverpool. OT's gone for 2-2 and Pegmatat's gone for 1-1. That's going to be really interesting to see if that is the case. Now, Crystal Palace are a tough team to break down, but at Anfield, I just fancy one team, and that is Liverpool. I think it's going to be a great weekend of football. I've predicted quite a few goals. I predicted goals in most games. Not often that you get 0-0s. They do happen, but I don't expect any, to be honest. Looking at those run of fixtures, potential 0-0s in the Southampton Leeds or the Wolves Fulham game, but actually the rest of the sides I expect to score goals. So I think it's going to be a good weekend or second weekend of football. And of course, Arsenal going into this game with the all or nothing series that everyone is talking about. Let's just forget that. Let's just put that over to the side. Let's just forget that all or nothing existed. Let's just concentrate on the results on the pitch. That's all I care about. I do not care about anything else other than Arsenal winning football games. So let's go for that one. Guys, this has been a great stream. Really enjoy your interaction. Really enjoy you all for watching. Please make sure that you smash a like on this video if you haven't done so already, and subscribe to the channel. It would be great if you could do so. I'm really looking forward to this weekend of football. I'll be there at the Emirates tomorrow cheering on the Arsenal boys, hoping that we can keep cool while we're watching the football, because apparently it's supposed to hit 35 at one stage tomorrow. So it's going to be a very warm day. Until then, we'll see you next time. And as always, up the Arsenal. Take care, guys.